All right, good evening. Welcome back to Fantastic Dimensions. This is session 32, I think, of Rogues to Riches. Um, if you're new to the channel, please hit subscribe down below. If you have been here before, or if you enjoy what you see here, or if you like what we're doing, please make sure to hit the thumbs up button. And if you'd like to support the channel to help it continue to broadcast and to grow. There's a lot more things I'm sure I could do over time with more investment, but please feel free to visit the link in the description and support me on Patreon. Now that the housekeeping is out of the way, we will be picking back up. 18 days have passed since the incident in the forests of Bohemia, um, which resulted in the unfortunate um, murder of a young girl and her father, and subsequently the execution of a member of the party who had only joined recently during the escape from the soldier, the Imperial Army camp near the Soldier's Rest. But this is 18 days later. It's the 23rd of August. You have marched across the Holy Roman Empire and into um, what will one day be Holland. Currently, the United Provinces and the Spanish Netherlands, since the war continues between the provinces and Spain. It is approaching evening. You're not quite to Amsterdam yet, and it does not seem that you will be able to reach it. Well, you won't be able to reach it before dark anyway. Um, if you wanted to continue pushing on several hours into the night, you could do so. However, as Cole, Antonio, and Hobbs are journeying or traveling, you have a couple of horses, right? As I recall correctly. Um, how many horses do you have?
Five, I think.
That
At
sounds
least
about
five.
right. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, it was five. You had three for yourselves. There was the one that John had been riding, and then you had an extra one. Yes. So you and your five animals, your five horses, you hear anyway sounds coming kind of from up ahead a little bit, and maybe off to one side. We'll say to the right side, towards well, you would know because you know the area that there is like a forest over there, and there's a kind of a river or stream, whatever, that runs out of the forest. And you can hear the sounds of laughter and singing and music, like somebody's playing a flute and something like like a sitar or something. Um, yeah, you hear the sounds of merriment, and you can even see, kind of as you're coming up a hill, you can see a little bit of a glow off in that direction. So there must be fires as well. What would you like to do, gentlemen?
I'm, I'm gonna look over at Antonio. Does he still look like he's brooding?
18 days later? I don't know.
Yeah.
Is he?
Probably not at this point.
All right.
He
I'll
wouldn't have
look
been
up.
very pleasant company for the first couple of days, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. I'm assuming that I had time to prepare my spells then in the meantime.
Yeah, absolutely. You can just type them in the chat or whatever you want to do.
All right. I'll
Translator.
type them
I
in
will
later.
open the chat.
I'll look over at the fake Antonio and I will tell him, do you hear that? It sounds like merrymaking. And I know I am in the need of some merrymaking myself.
Hmm. Yeah, it does sound like a nice distraction. How do we see what the party's about?
I'll look
How,
over at Cole.
how about we hide our savings somewhere before we go into the camp, just to be safe?
Sure. Makes sense.
I'll take
So,
my I'll take my one gold coin with me in case I need it.
Okay. What do you want to do about hiding your valuables, your animals, whatever?
I'm not worried about the animals. I'm worried about their gold more than anything.
Right.
Hmm.
Well,
But
what do you want to do about that?
we could dig a hole somewhere. Is this foresty area?
There is a forest in the direction where the merriment seems to be coming from. Where you are right now, it's kind of more like a little bit more plains-ish, grasslands. but you're on a road that's leading to Amsterdam.
How about we go up to one of those trees and get it up in one of the branches and just let the saddlebag hang? Has the money and stuff on it.
That seems to be tempting fate a bit.
Sounds like it's a climb check I don't want to make.
Yeah, I'm not very good at that either. I don't know. That seems risky to just leave the.
What would I even know about their fortune?
Probably not.
Not specifically.
Okay,
No.
if they never told me about their money, then I'll just be like, oh, all right, well, I'm gonna go have some fun. You guys can bicker or do whatever you want, and then I'll go off towards the party.
Okay.
We'll be along shortly.
You have the
Go ahead, Rob.
sorry, I had a reminder coming in on my Alexa.
Okay.
Don't want to. It's you. You've been carrying it around, Antonio. So I'll leave it up to you. It's up to you what you want to do with it.
Well, how about I just transfer the bags to you? I mean, you'd be much better suited to protecting it rather than just leaving it to the whims of whoever might pass by and look up.
Okay, whatever you say. That's fine. You've held on to it and kept it and fronted the money just so far. So whatever you want to do.
Yeah, let's just bring it with. I mean, if it gets to the point where something violence happens and something happens to us, we're not going to need it anyways. Might as well let someone have use of it.
We'll kill anything that gets in our way, or we'll have somebody else kill them for us.
Or we'll try. One or the other. All right, let's head out.
Okay. So Hobbs is a little bit ahead of you, riding on, and you guys resume, a little ways behind him with the other 4 horses, the 2 that you're riding, and the other 2 that are probably hauling the majority of your bags and your goods. So as you're approaching, what you see is several wagons, brightly colored and painted, um, and you see one large bonfire and a few other small campfires around it, and you see tents up, and some of the wagons are actually pulled up near the fires and stuff, and basically you see a gypsy camp.
Oh.
And you would guess, just from looking at it, there is probably 30 or 40 people there.
Had the gypsies migrated into to England by that time? I wonder. Because I don't know if I'd be familiar with them or not.
I don't know. I'm going to guess probably.
Yeah. Okay.
You've been tooling around Europe long enough too.
Yeah, you have been on the
long
mainland
enough.
as well for a good, almost a couple of years now.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
Plus, you were a sailor. You've traveled to different ports, and yeah, I'd say you're well familiar especially from your time living in Amsterdam.
So can I make a roll? Do I know Romani?
Yeah, you can definitely make a roll.
Okay. Can I roll a d6?
Yes, a languages check.
D6. God damn it! A 2. I don't have no. I'll never know another language.
What's your intelligence? No modifier?
Well, yeah, I think it. Well, no intelligence. Let me look more closely here. That's very small. Wisdom, strength. Intelligence is 10, but no modifier, right?
So you're only 1 in 6 chance, unfortunately.
Let's see.
You do not currently speak.
Nope,
Romani.
I do not speak Romani.
Let me go. 3 and 6. 5.
None of you speak Romani, but that's okay, because the chances are they if they're camping here, they probably at least someone in their camp speaks Dutch. Okay. So as you approach, how are you approaching? Hobbs, you're in the front. Are you just kind of riding up I presume you're not trying to be sneaky or anything of that sort, or you're
Uh,
gonna cast
What
invisibility, or you're gonna
what are they doing? Are they dancing?
hurl magic missiles at them.
No, no. Are they dancing?
Yeah, they're dancing, singing, drinking, eating. It's approaching kind of. Yeah, it's getting dark, right? So this is late August. I'm gonna say, yeah. I mean, it's probably they're probably after dinner or finishing their dinner now. So some of them are eating, some of them are drinking, dancing, singing, just
All
being
right,
merry in general. They're not.
I'm gonna
You normally see
approach some.
you see men, women, children.
I'm gonna approach the group of people dancing, and then I will join the dance.
Okay, so as you're approaching, um, someone will spot you before you get there, of course, and a small general alarm will raise, and a few of the men will kind of gather together, and they'll bring you with them, Klaus, right? Because they know you're capable. Yeah, and they'll walk out to kind of meet you before you reach the camp itself.
I'll speak in English, and I'll say, "Good evening." Wait, is it evening?
Yeah. Like I said, it's about
Good,
8 p.m.
good evening, fellows. May I join your merrymaking? I come from the long and weary road.
Klaus, do you speak English?
I don't think I speak English. Do you want me to roll for
Yeah,
it or?
yeah, sure. What's your
Alright,
intelligence?
well, 9.
Okay, you have a 1 in 6 chance. Roll a d6.
Got a 6.
Okay, a 6 for Klaus. So no, you don't speak English either. So they all just kind of look puzzled.
Mm,
And one of them
I'll
speaks out
switch
to you
over.
in Dutch. He says, "How about Dutch? Do you speak Dutch?"
Yes, I do.
Very
I'll
good.
communicate in Dutch. I'll say, "Good evening. Forgive my foreign language. Uh, I'm here to make merry with your people. I've come from a long and weary road.
I see.
Surely you would let me join the dance."
Perhaps. Are you a good dancer?
Am I a good dancer? I'll start dancing.
Come on then, Englishman. Show us your dance, and if you dance well, then you may stay with our camp all night if you wish, and partake of our
Or,
food and drink.
or how do you determine if you're a good dancer or not? Do I roll something or what?
If you fail to entertain us, then you will have to pay.
Oh, I like those odds.
This I gotta say.
And now, Klaus, you're there too, and you will probably notice that there are more horses approaching. Looks like 2 people and 4 horses also riding up. Some of the guys might like gesture and say, "Hey, check out, there's more of them coming. We still
Of
out
course,
if there's trouble."
of course, a real man can't dance on without alcohol. Surely you would not have me dance without any alcohol in my blood.
There, one of them tosses you a like a kind of a, what would you call it, like a bladder, almost. I think of
I'll down it, and
and
then I'll
it's wine.
nice. I'll down it completely, and
You
then I'll
down it
start.
completely.
Yep.
Ooh, give me a Constitution roll.
All right. I have a high constitution, sir.
Good. Just actually roll
I
poison
like
save.
this
Roll
guy.
poison save. Sorry, roll poison save.
Poison
Makes more
save. All
sense. Yeah.
right.
He definitely came to party.
I got a 8. So that's a
You
fail.
failed to put it. Okay, so you are drunk. You down it. You only dribble a little bit on the, the beard, but for the
Mhm.
most part, you drink it down. It's strong. You realize, ooh, that wine's fortified.
Oh, I
Um,
might have made a mistake,
it's probably
but
got
I will continue.
some brandy in it or something. Yeah. And but yeah, oof, man, lightheaded. So I would say that would give you. Hmm, I'm
That'll
going to
give me a
give
plus
you
to
a
dancing.
bonus to dancing.
Yeah.
So
All right.
roll your dexterity plus 1.
Oh, now I have a -1 dexterity.
No. What is your dexterity?
7.
Okay, so you need to roll an 8 or lower.
6. Yes.
You
Yes.
dance. You dance decently. and they're clapping and hooting and hollering, and then
Yeah,
some of them jump in
yeah.
and dance with you.
Any women dance?
But not yet. You're just
Nah.
picking blokes here at the moment.
I'm gonna start like kind of like inching my way towards the women.
They'll say, "Yo, you may join the camp. We're nothing if
I'm
not
already
men
in the
of our
camp.
words." So they let you in, and they turn to face Antonio and Cole as they approach.
All
Are
right.
they? They'll say to you as you're going in, "And you, dancing Englishman, are these your friends?"
Yeah, I guess. And I'll go in.
Okay. So Antonio and Cole, as you ride up,
Hmm?
you will probably see somebody you recognize. Yes, you would.
Hmm.
You see Klaus, who you last time you saw him was around the end of June, nearly 2 months ago, and he was being clubbed by the the local police or whatever you'll call it in Amsterdam, and
Right.
dragged to the stake to be burned for heresy or something like that. Witchcraft.
So as soon as I see him, I will say, "Wow, you look awfully well for a man who was burned at the stake."
You do as well for somebody who's gimp, my friend.
Ha 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 ha. Well met.
I think with that, like Klaus would go up to him and like give him a hug, and Cole too would be like, "It's really nice to see you guys. Didn't think I'd see you ever again."
Neither did I. I was sure the guard would never let you go. How did you escape from them?
Well, you see, and he would point out like, the guys around him. My friends here, my family. These are the basketball boys. When I was in jail, waiting for my sentence, apparently, God didn't want me to die because these fine men were here. And once I told them what was happening to me, they helped me get out.
Fantastic. Well
But
then,
come, like we're having drinks, food. Come, have anything. My friends, these are really close friends of mine. They're like family, so let them through. They
Yeah,
won't
they
cause
do.
any problem.
Once they realize that they're friends of yours, they warm right up to them. If they're friends of yours, they must be decent, respectable people. So yeah, they'll invite you in.
fantastic.
So
Song
yeah,
and
come,
dance.
put your horse, and let's have a good time.
Absolutely. Oh, it's been a long road. And head on in.
Yeah,
Definitely.
but he would show them where like where they're making food and give them each a drink, and he would tell them where to go, and he would take their horses and take them to where they stable their horses.
Yeah, well, they don't stable them out here. It's just a camp, right? It's a kind
Well,
of
like a piece of log that they tie them up and give them water and shit.
yeah. They probably have they probably it is at the edge of the forest, like I said. So yeah, they probably do have a tree like somewhere up around the trees where they kind of for the loose horses they for the most part they just kind of tether them to their wagons, not literally on the harnesses, but you know what I mean, just like they can tie them to so they're right
Sure.
there. But yeah, they can definitely find a spot for your loose horses.
Awesome.
I don't mean that as any kind of a denigration against your horse's sexual character.
You better not.
I just mean that they're not pulling wagons.
Mm-hmm.
So that money we left did we leave it in the saddlebag?
Yeah,
Yes,
it's in
did
the
we
it's in the
saddlebag.
bags.
Definitely.
Okay, so
And
don't
I
you think better
handed that
carry it?
off to you.
Yeah, okay. All
Well,
right,
no, I handed that off to you before we even got into the camp.
That's
right.
right, you
I
did.
just I'm throw it across my shoulder, carrying it. It's about the
Okay.
only thing I know what to do with it.
Sounds good
So,
to me.
um, Klaus, just a matter of semantics. Most of these are Romani gypsies, whereas you're Sinti, but it's just different dialects of the same language ultimately. But they also they mostly all speak Dutch anyway. So, um,
It's okay. I understand them all, so it's all good.
in fact, most of them speak Dutch and Spanish because they kind of bounce between the United Provinces and the Spanish Netherlands a little bit. But but they do better. They prefer it in the United Provinces because the Dutch up here are much more tolerant of their people than the Catholic Spanish.
Makes sense. Awesome. Make merry.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, there's wine, brandy, wine fortified with brandy. Um,
Check to see what happened
there's
to
some
Hobbs.
food as well. There's like bread and cheese and you know and some fruits and whatnot that they kind of pass around. They would offer you all food and drink, of course.
Oh, thank
Oh yeah.
goodness.
The old hospitality ritual.
Mm. Just be polite as normal, because I don't know any customs or rituals or anything like that, but I'm sure they're used to that.
Sure, sure, sure.
I asked Cross kind of like in a whisper, how do you say thank you in Romani?
Yeah, you don't have to say it. And Jose,
Yeah,
Jose,
I would
your
tell him
character, your
that.
character knows how to say it. Yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah,
Yeah,
he'll tell
that's
you.
what I meant. Yeah. So
I
he'll
honestly don't know off the top of my head. But
yeah, as they pass the food to me and give it to me and stuff, I'll say that just to let him know.
and I think while like Klaus would be walking him to where the dance floor is and everything, he would look at him. He would be like, "You guys seem to be one light."
Mm. Yes. Dark tale for sure. You sent us out of the city to stop some men from spreading harmful knowledge. Oops, excuse me. And along the way, sorry about that. um, well, let's just say she went a little crazy.
I say, well, madness always hits the best of us sometimes.
There was also a problem with doppelgangers, or mimics, or whatever you call them. That I think was the final straw.
I see. Well,
that's
you guys look like you can use some rest, so come have some fun.
Indeed, indeed. I'm gonna.
Yeah, I think it may be a while before we let any more strangers in our group, or at least for me. I mean, it seems like we've had three in a row here, or two after her. So, yeah,
more technically, because you had Katerina, then Hobbs, then John.
There was also that
yeah,
one guy who got killed when we were leaving the city to go look for those guys in the first place who attacked the city guards in Amsterdam.
yeah.
With the who convinced the
Yeah, you mean back? Yeah, before you left Amsterdam. That's right. Yeah, I don't
before we
even remember
left.
his name. Sorry,
Yeah.
Jeremy. Yes, that's true. You haven't had a very good luck with guest appearances, Hobbs. Looking at you,
Oh,
watching you.
Meanwhile, Hobbs is in a circle, crying on the floor, screaming for Esmeralda.
What?
oh no!
No, what's he
You
doing?
gotta bring
Seriously
out
though,
the skull.
who's
He's gonna
Esmeralda?
scream out, Esmeralda, why did you leave me?
Who's Esmeralda?
I don't know.
Isn't that the name of the woman in the Hunchback of Notre Dame?
Yes.
Maybe.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, but Hobbs doesn't know that.
So Hobbs, is this just an effect of the alcohol on Hobbs? He's
Yeah.
missing a lost love.
Oh yeah. Many
Okay.
lost loves.
Hmm. They'll try to pick you up and get you dancing and drinking to cheer up. Like, um,
Yes, bring me more alcohol. It's the only way to forget my sorrows.
sure, yeah, to bring you some more straight brandy this time.
Oh shit.
I, I'll nudge Klaus and say, "Hey, do you have a? He's kind of lonely for female companionship. Do you have anybody, that might want to dance with him and give him a
um,
good time?"
I'm pretty sure I can work something out, and he will whisper in one of the guys' ears to find them a girl.
He kind of likes
It,
the bossy kind, from what I understand.
you know what? The way like Hobbs looks, what I'm gonna do, and it's gonna be kind of fucked up. But you know how at a certain age you turn marry women off. He's gonna tell one of the guys to find one of those and have him hang out with him, see what happens.
There you
Well,
go.
do you think he's suitable? I mean, first impression and all, but
Well, look at him. I mean, he has a suit, he has a hat. Most people don't wear that unless they have money.
well, I suppose, and he is English, but yeah, okay. Well,
You're muted if you're talking.
Oh no, I'm just drinking, dancing.
I'm gonna find some
well,
place I can.
yeah, okay. He says, all right, we'll get oh, jeez, names. Hold on a second. Here's what I'm looking for. Come on, open up. Yeah, I'll get Camlo's daughter, Tawny.
Oh, she's a pretty one and really energetic. So yeah, that sounds good.
She's really not, but she's
He
energetic.
just said he just said that in front of everybody, so you know.
Yeah, fair enough. Just saying. Yep. Okay.
I find some place I can sit down, like on a rug, where I can lean back against something and take off my foot so I can like warm it up by the fire. My stump up at the fire and rub it. Because I've had that foot on for a while and it gets tiresome.
Right. Yeah. I suppose so. Gosh, trekking all across Europe in it. Well, you've
Right?
been writing mostly, I suppose. Yeah.
Even still, you know,
Yep. It would definitely
that's
probably
it's
probably smells and like
heavy.
yeah,
Hmm.
you gotta clean it.
Yeah.
So one of
Ouch.
the guys will come and sit next to you and say, "So what happened to your leg?"
Hmm. Well, let me tell you, friend. Never antagonize an angry wizard in his own tower.
He makes like a little sign of the cross kind of thing.
Indeed.
Says, "Angry wizards are the worst.
Yes, they are. I chuckle.
Almost as dangerous as an angry witch."
Hmm. I haven't had to deal with any of those, luckily.
I try to keep mine happy. He nudges you.
Ha ha ha! It's a wise move, my friend. And I hold up my glass to, or my mug to tonk
Yeah.
and a toast. There we go.
Oh yeah.
And just shoot the shit with the guy for a while.
Yep. He'll just make pleasantries with you while you and even try to help you if he can hold the leg for you or anything he can do to help
No,
while
just
you.
lay it down next to me and just sit by the fire and eat and drink and
Cool.
enjoy the merrymaking around me and the music and all that.
It's a nice change.
Hmm.
Now that you're out of Imperial lands, you're not as worried about witch hunters,
Exactly.
but you're still probably a little worried about it. But
Oh, I'm always worried about that.
these people, yeah, they seem like a breath of fresh air, considering you've been
Hmm.
wandering across the war-torn regions for weeks. Um, these folk are just, well, at least for the moment, they seem to be out for a good time, and they're having one out here, kind of close to nature, under the
Hmm.
open sky. Um, so,
Sometimes it'd be nice to have freedom like that.
right.
But then again, I'm sure they have their plenty of shit to deal with.
Yeah. Oh, they've got plenty of persecution that they get to deal with as well. You know,
Hmm.
everywhere they go, they're kind of not wanted, and people just assume that they're up to no good. You know, um, they're mostly nomadic people. So, but you can tell pretty quickly, if you weren't already familiar, that they do all seem to be Christian, pretty much in general. They
Hmm.
do, of course, have their own kind of cultural superstitions and things of that sort too. Um, but for the most part, they believe in God, and they tend to kind of just adopt whatever the dominant Christian belief is wherever they live. And since these um, are in the United Provinces, they mostly you can tell by their holy symbols and the prayers that they say or the phrases that they use. They're of a Protestant kind of bent, a Lutheran kind of bent of Christianity.
Mm.
Mixed in, of course, with their own old ancient kind of, you know, fortune tellers and things of that sort too. But you know,
Hmm. Well, I guess I won't be talking about magic anytime soon.
Yeah. Well, you already did a little bit, but it was
Yeah.
it was taken as a jest, or even if it wasn't a jest. I mean, you just said don't piss off a wizard, right?
Yep.
So,
I'm
um,
gonna ask.
yeah,
I was gonna ask. I've talked to our class and ask him about the star. If that's something that happened when he's in the city or here. What happened?
Klaus.
Can you repeat that one more time?
I was going to ask you about your star. I mean, because it wasn't on there when last time we saw you. So asking him, is that what happened with the guards, or did you have an adventure out here that did it, or what happened?
Yeah, he would like pass his fingers along his face, along the scar, and he would be like, "Well, that was the guards. They
Oh,
you could say they were really friendly.
yeah.
They beat me unconscious, wake me up, do it again. So I just got
I,
lucky."
I take his shoulder and I go, I wish there was something we could have done. We tried, but you know how the guards are. I mean, in that city, we would have all been burned at the stake.
Truthfully, I when it happened, I was just glad it was just me because Antonio, and he could have been in there with me too. So it's better one person than two.
Yeah, I pat him on the back. You've been a good friend. I mean, most people wouldn't understand the situation and would have put blame upon their friend and not you. Yeah, that's a good friend. I'll remember that. Pat him on
Well,
the back again.
thank you very much, Cole, and it's definitely really nice seeing you guys. Don't get me wrong, it's been great with this guys, but it's different.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you gonna stick with these guys for a while, or you want to go back and meet our boss again? I'm sure he'd probably put you back on the payroll for a while. Or you wanted there though, huh? Or did they let you? Did they get you out legitimately?
Ah, not exactly, but I mean, I've been in the city a few times and nobody's came after me, so I think I'll be alright.
Yeah, maybe with your star and where you carry yourself might be a little different. So, all right, yeah, don't think it over because we're heading back in that way eventually.
it's been
Well,
a
thank
couple
you
of
very
months
much.
nearly. It's been a good probably 8 weeks, just about, since that all happened to you, Klaus. So you reckon chances are you could probably get back into the city without wanted signs being all over with your face on them or anything of that sort. And you know that at the time when you did break the jail, you were with like a dozen men, so it's not like you were the only one who you know escaped that day.
Yeah, he would look at Cole and he would be like, I'll definitely think it over, and I'll make sure to talk to them in the group because I've been helping them with their injuries. So I don't think I'm really needed, but if anything happens, I know I'm always welcome here.
Good, glad to hear you got someplace to go if things get bad. That's great.
So
So
Hobbs, oh sorry, go ahead, Rob.
I was just gonna say, so let's drink and have a merry time tonight.
Yeah, with that, he would like take his cup and hit it with his, like a little clink.
And then so Hobbs, they bring you more brandy and try to cheer you up, and then they introduce you to a girl. Um, she looks to be in her late teens, probably just about well, you might be too drunk to tell, but just about the right age where a father might consider marrying her off for some kind of advantage or compensation, etc. Give me a d20 roll, Hobbs.
All right.
Let's make it another poison save.
Fail.
Fail?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, she is a beautiful creature.
Oh my stars.
Mm. And they
I'll
introduce her.
take it.
They introduce her. This is Tawny. She is.
Connie.
She is. I can't remember the name of the father now, and I already lost the page. But and they just, so and so's daughter.
I'll, I'll do like a drunken like flourish of my hand, very
She says,
wavy and
do you like to dance, Mr. Hobbs?
oh yes, yes, Connie, very much so. I'll take my hand out.
Tawny, she laughs. My name is Tawny.
No, 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 it's Connie.
Whatever you say, Mr. Hobbs.
I'll take her and I'll do like a very English waltz with her.
Oh, okay. That's something different.
Yeah,
Yeah, she stumbles a bit. She struggles with it at first, but you being
is she
intoxicated, you're able to kind of guide her through it and take.
is she speaking? Is she speaking Dutch?
Yes, yes. Also speaking
I'll
Dutch.
I'll say something in Spanish to see if she. Do you understand me?
Um, oh, see, she does.
Okay. I will ask her very sober like. I'll ask her. I'll tell her that I'm looking for someone, a
You're
very
looking for
special
someone.
person.
Oh,
Yes.
well, maybe you've already found one.
And like you can smell the alcohol on Hall's breath, but he sounds very sober, and he'll say, "Yes, Connie, I'm looking for someone very special. I'm looking for a woman who knows strange arts, one could say.
Strange arts. Hmm.
Yes,
Oh, you mean
I know.
like a
I know
fortune
many.
teller?
Yes, a fortune teller, Connie.
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
Would you happen to know someone like that?
Well, there's one. Yes,
Is she here?
she is. She's resting. She may be asleep now. I don't know.
Would you take me to her?
Well, I'd have to see if she's awake first. I don't want to disturb her. She's the, elderly matron of our tribe, of
Make
our
it worth.
band, our group.
And I'm dancing with the waltz the whole time I'm
Hmm.
speaking in her ear. And then I'll look over and I'll produce the gold coin and I'll say, I'll make it worth both your while.
Mr. Hobbs.
What do you
Very
say,
well.
Connie?
Yes,
What do you
I
say?
will. I will check to see if Nadia is awake.
Very well. Go on. Go on now. And then I'll like shoo her away a little bit and then I'll continue dancing this weird flapping arm eccentric.
Okay,
All right, that's my scene.
cool. Antonio's having his chat. Um, Klaus and Cole have caught up a bit. Anything anybody else wants to do while you're hanging out here at this camp? They're gonna, um, you guys have your own bedrolls and stuff anyway, I guess, right? So I mean, they're gonna let you camp here. Um,
I would think if anything, Klaus would go to like each of them and just let them know that he has a wagon that they're more welcome. They're more than welcome to sleep in, so that way they don't have to sleep outside, and in case it rains or anything.
do you have a wagon?
It's probably one that they let him have because since he's been healing people and helping them out through there.
Maybe you bought one.
Maybe.
Oh yeah, I want to spend money.
You know what? I think that sounds like a good idea. He thought he was probably going to be here for a while, so he ended up buying off somebody's
You have
wagon.
been here for a while too. You've been here
Yeah.
like almost 8 weeks. So let's see here. A wagon. Here we go. Let's zoom this in a bit. There we go. How much does a wagon generally cost? Vehicles. A wagon. Yeah, that would have cost you 75 silver. You
That's
can mark
not
that
bad.
off of the money that you have on your sheet. Okay. All right. Cool. Now then.
Awesome. I'll probably be hitting that wagon soon then, because I'm tired from the road.
Sure. Sure. Yep. Much more comfortable in there.
Hmm.
Um, So Hobbs, I guess I'll go back to you then. What are you going to do when Tawny? Oh, you're waiting for her to come back to tell you whether or not Nadia is awake, right?
Yeah.
Okay. She comes back like 5 minutes later. She says, "Mr. Hobbs, you're in luck. Nadia is awake. I asked her if she would be willing to speak with you, and she said yes."
That, that's perfect. And he's slurring his words at this point. It's
Mm-hmm.
perfect, Connie. It's perfect. Take me. And I'll hold my hand out for her
Yeah,
to
and she'll,
grab it.
she'll she'll take you. She'll lead you to one of the wagons, um, and inside the wagon, and you pull up the flap. There's an older woman there. She's sitting on a cushion at a low table. There's candles burning inside, and there's another gentleman in there, probably in his 20s or 30s, you'd say. Um, and when you pull open the tent flap, the woman looks up and says, "Are you Mr. Hobbs that Tawny has told me about?" She says to you in Dutch.
Indeed. Indeed, I am, mistress.
Very well. She says, "Georgie, you may leave us for now. I will speak to Mr. Hobbs alone." Georgie says, "Very well. I'll be right outside, Mother, if you need anything." And so he gets up and nods to you as he heads out of the wagon. And he starts talking to Tawny.
All right, I'll go over. I'll stagger over and I'll sit down on. If there's a stool, I'll
Just
sit.
cushions. Yeah, just
All right,
cushions.
cushions. I'll sit down on the cushions, kind of
Hmm.
very obviously drunk.
Across the table from her.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she has a deck of cards that she puts out on the table, and she starts to shuffle in her hands. Says, "Have
I'm
you
sorry.
come to me to have your fortune read, Mr. Hobbs?"
I'm sorry. What was her name? One more time.
Nadia.
Nadia. Yes, Nadia. I'm looking for someone very special, and I'm hoping you would help me. Do your
I see.
cards Are your cards able to tell the future?
Sometimes. Sometimes they tell the past.
I kind of grimace at that. And I say,
Um,
very well. Deal your cards then, woman.
okay.
Now, when she's doing her card trick, I want to be watching her very intently to see if she's like casting actual magic or if it's more like a parlor trick or something.
Yeah, okay. She's obviously not using any magic.
All right, I'll keep that in mind.
Okay. So she shuffles out the cards and she puts out three. Is there any way? Does this tell me what these things mean? No. Tarot card meanings. That's what I'm looking for. Mhm. Boom. And what is this card? Okay. Close that. See if I can find out what this means. This is, I'm just pulling this out of my ass. I found a random tarot card reading generator, but it doesn't tell me
Nice.
the meanings. I have to look up the meanings on a separate site. And oh yeah, there it is. It says this person you are looking for. Let's see, is it? Yeah, okay, cool. It says they are still living. They are happy, complete, living in harmony.
I'll listen to that intently, and
Hmm.
then I'll say, very interesting, Natalia. Very interesting.
I see there was some conflict between you. You did not depart on good terms.
No, no, we had a huge falling out.
Your relationship was competitive in nature. Was she a colleague?
One could say that, yes.
I see. And the last one. Um, hmm. Yes. You will cross paths again. I cannot
I'll,
see when, but there will be a breakthrough, and you will find clarity and closure in your relationship.
I'll look at the cards intently. A single tear will fall down my left eye.
They are the World, the Five of Wands, and the Ace of Swords.
Beautiful, beautiful, Natalia, beautiful. I'm very glad to have met you, and I'll put my gold coin on the counter or on the table,
And I
and
am
then
glad to have met you, Mr. Hobbs. But she pushes the coin back towards you and says, "But I do not require your money."
I'll look back and I'll do that nod of understanding, and I'll take the gold coin and put it in my boot, and I'll walk off
Okay.
content.
You walk outside, and of course, there's Georgie talking to Tawny as you come out. And Tawny will turn to you and say, "Well, was grandmother able to tell you what you wanted to learn about?"
Yes, Connie, very much so. Thank you very much for introducing me to her.
She'll kind of wrap her arms up in your arm
Oh, okay.
and say, "Well, then
Uh,
come back to the fire.
More dancing?
Good night, Georgie. Good night, Tawny. Good night, Mr. Hobbs." And he goes back into the wagon. She says, "Well, first of all, I do believe you offered some payment
Oh,
for
oh,
the."
yes, of
And she
course,
holds out
of
her
course.
hand.
I'll take the gold coin out and I'll put it in her hand.
I'm sure grandmother refused your coin.
Ah,
That is
yes,
her way. Her
it makes sense.
talents are not for sale. Her talents are hers to give as she pleases, she says. I, on the
I'll
other
put,
hand, am not shy about taking payment for a fulfilled bargain.
I'll hold the gold coin out for her to grab it, and then when she goes to take it, I'll kind of pull it away jokingly, and then I'll put it in her hand.
Okay. Tease her a little bit, but then you give it to her.
Yeah,
She giggles, laughs, and then, come, let's dance some more.
more alcohol as well.
She is, you have quite the thirst. Indeed. We shall see if we can quench it. And yeah, so you can go out and dance and drink all you like. Give me another poison save.
All right. um, I was a 10 and I had 13, so fail.
Okay. Yep. You black out.
Ah, nice.
You get hammered.
All right.
Um, is Hobbs the kind of guy who would get hammered and then wake up in the arms of a charming young lady, or is he the kind of guy that would get hammered and like wake up in a pool of his own vomit?
Full of his own vomit.
Okay, right. So Tawny ends up disappointed, but she got a gold piece out of it.
Yeah, I think she's very happy.
I guess so. Okay, so in the morning, Hobbs, you're probably the first one to wake up because that's usually what happens to me when I get really drunk. I always wake up at the fucking ass crack of dawn because I have to piss or drink water or something. So there'll be a couple of the or probably a couple of the older actually lads and ladies from the camp that are mulling about a little bit, starting to, you know, get the fires built up again since they've died down a little bit overnight, and getting ready to start making some kind of breakfast. The rest of you can wake up shortly after too. I don't, unless you really want to do something while most of the people are sleeping. Hobbs? No?
No, I mean,
Okay.
I gotta
Good.
take. Yeah.
Good. 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 No problem. So yeah. Um, so Hobbs, you got a bit of a hangover. Too much brandy. Um,
Ah,
the last memory you have is falling over while dancing with Nadia, and then somebody handed you a wooden mug that was full of liquor, that was full of liquid, yeah, and it was brandy, probably about 8 ounces of brandy. You don't know if you actually drank it all or not. You have no recollection. But
What a wonderful night.
hmm so Klaus and Cole and Antonio as well. You guys can wake up and whatever you want to do in the morning. Um, if you go out, you'll find Hobbs probably. I assume because Hobbs, you didn't sleep in the wagon. You slept out here by the fire because you were sick, so they weren't going to lead you back into any of the wagons anyway. Um, you don't have to be literally in a pool of your own vomit. You just probably threw up a little bit on your clothes.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Um,
Hobbs is accustomed to using his backpack as a pillow though, so he's
hmm
none the wiser.
Okay, so it is the morning of the 24th, isn't it? By the way, did you write down any of those results from the fortune telling?
No. I
Okay.
don't think I would even remember him.
Oh, fair enough. Lady Nadia.
That's very cool, and I appreciate it.
And that was about Esmeralda, I take it, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So it is now, yeah, the morning of the 24th of August. Weather-wise, it's a little bit cloudy, but not like rain cloudy. You know what I mean? It's more like light clouds. Kind of keeps the sun off you, I guess. Um,
It's cool.
yeah, it's warming up pretty quickly here in the
Nice.
24th of August. That's late summer, right? Yeah, it's pretty much late summer.
Good traveling weather.
hmm Okay.
Yeah, I think at this point, Klaus would probably went out to talk to the elder before he comes back to the wagon.
Lady Nadia?
Yeah,
Okay, sure.
so
Says,
he
yes,
would knock
Klaus.
on her. Yeah, hey,
Come in.
we're coming.
Do you require privacy? She says. And she
Yeah,
gestures towards her son, Georgie.
yeah, I do.
She says, Georgie, why don't you fetch some fresh water, fill our skins? He says, yes, yes, of course, mother. Klaus, he says, he nods to you as he goes out. Georgie is one of the ones that helped you break free of the jail 8 weeks ago. So he
He
goes
would
out.
sit down and he would probably just put his hands like under her because I imagine that's what she usually does. And he would be like, "Remember when I first came to the camp and I had mentioned what happened to me and the people that I was with?
Yes.
Well, there were the strangers that were here last night, and I'm thinking about going back out with them and you know see where my path leads me. So I wanted to talk to you before I left, make sure everything was all right.
Of course. That is where you wish to go, then that is where you should go. You are always a friend to our family. You are always welcome with our people. But if that is the path that is set before you, then you must follow it. Be careful, though. I think this Englishman, Mr. Hobbs, he was not with your friends when you last saw them, correct?
Correct.
There's something dark about him. I don't know what. It may simply be something something from his past, I believe. It may be harmless, but just be careful,
I'll make sure to keep that in mind. And thank you.
of course.
So, is there anything that I could do for you guys before I left?
Oh, you've done much for us already, Klaus, and we are very grateful for that. So there is nothing that you owe to us.
And with that, he would like give her a hug and just get ready to walk out.
Okay. So it's only a few hours to Amsterdam. If you guys
Awesome.
break fast here, you could still be in Amsterdam by the late morning.
We're on the road now.
Yeah, you're near the road. The camp is a little bit off the road, but yeah, the road's very nearby. You were on the road when you heard the camp in the first place.
Got it.
And
Quite.
you have a wagon, Klaus. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how many horses do you have to pull your wagon?
I would think I have two. It'd be like one of those,
Okay.
you can have up to four, but he would only have two of them in
That's
there.
fine. You can mark off another 200 silver from your money and write down that you have 2 horses. Cool. You have 2 horses and a wagon, plus whatever other goods you have. So now, in total, you guys have a total of 6 horses? 7.
Awesome.
Yeah, you have 7 horses total. So you have the 3 that you personally ride, plus the 2 that you basically took from the Soldiers' Rest after the family was arrested, and well, you don't know exactly what happened to them after that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Then
I would think if they wanna, since there's like 4 spots to put horses, I could leave my 2 horses to the Boswells, and then we can just hook them up to the wagon, and the other 2 tie them to the side of the wagon. But it's up to them.
I'd be fine with that.
yeah,
Everyone else is.
you can put your goods in the wagon then.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, you've got 2 spare horses. You can just basically, if you want, you can just put the 4 horses. So he's got his 2 horses. You put your 2 horses on there as well, and then yeah, on the yoke, I think it's called, right? Um,
Yeah, with that, I will whisper to Antonio. I know that you have certain things that are special. I have a little. I guess he has like a little trap door underneath the floor under a rug.
Mm.
If you need to put anything in there, you're more than welcome to. And he will give him a key with the chest for the chest.
I appreciate the offer, but no worries at this time. All that stuff is ash back in the Empire.
I gotcha. And
you
I
have
just
a
wanted to.
you have a hidden compartment in your wagon.
Yeah, it probably like when I bought the wagon, it was still being fixed, so he just set up like a little thing on it.
Nice. That'll cost you another 25 silver.
Cool, cool.
But you can mark down that you have a hidden compartment in the
Well,
wagon.
I'll probably have many hidden compartments, so later I'll get
That's
with
fine.
you.
That's fine. Don't worry. Cool. Okay. So
I
yeah.
have a question. Do you have the list of what weapons that John had? So I
Yep.
took all
It's
his
on.
weapons.
It's on the notes.
Is it okay?
Let's see here. So John had 2 flintlock rifled pistols, so the rifled barrels,
Cool.
flintlock firing mechanism.
Since I
He
lost
had
mine.
a sword. He had a dagger. He had a garrote. And then he had a powder horn and shot bag.
All right.
Cool.
Before we go, you'll see Hobbs sitting on the floor, looking in his boots, and he'll be scratching his head. And he'll say out loud, "I could have sworn I had a gold coin.
Hmm.
It seems I misplaced it."
Indeed, you did.
Oh well.
It's unfortunate.
Okay. So what do you do when you get to Amsterdam?
Well, first thing I want to do is get to our house and see that it's not like burned to the ground or something.
Okay. Right. Yes. Yeah. You go to your house. Your house is still there.
Thank God.
Now you've been gone since late June. So you've missed 2 months worth of basically financial stuff. right?
Right, but some of that
Um,
stuff was taken care of on the road, like food and drink and
yes, but you're missing
rent
two
would be
months of
something.
rent and 2 months of pay.
2 months of rent, 2 months of pay. Oh, sorry, 2 months of rent and 2 months of pay. We
Two
didn't
months
have
of
to worry about.
stabling.
No, because we brought the horses with us. Oh, for the
No, you
one
didn't.
horse.
You didn't bring a Pona.
That's right. There's that one horse, the war horse that is still there.
Yep.
I'll kind of whistle. Property owners, huh?
Mm.
Little high blooded for my taste. But I'll go in
Oh.
anyway.
Well, we need to find some place to stick the wagon.
Can you describe the house to me?
It's nothing amazing. It's kind of like a one floor apartment. There's I think
4 bedrooms.
4 bedrooms, a living room, a dining area.
Dude, did I not save the? I guess I didn't save the images I had of it before. That's a bummer. Yeah, it's pretty small. There's 4 bedrooms. There's kind of a common room with a fireplace and a table and stuff. There's a little kitchen area off that. Oh no, their kitchen had a separate room, didn't it? Yeah, you did have a separate kitchen, and I think there was
Hmm.
also
There's like a bathing room.
yeah.
Where's the guest bedroom?
I pointed the luxurious, well-appointed couch in the living area.
Ah, I
You
see.
do have a spare bedroom at the moment, though. Rachel's bedroom is no longer in use.
Mm. Well, I imagine that Klaus would be taking his room back.
Klaus will probably be taking his room back. Yes.
So that leaves. Then we got us two. Well, yeah, I guess. Well,
You have
what
no
about?
idea where Medina is. Haven't seen
Right.
or heard from him
Did
since.
he have a room here or no?
No, didn't you? Did you
We
meet him
picked
here?
him up. He joined us as we were leaving. Right.
Yeah.
He
Okay.
was.
Yeah.
We were leaving the city, and he was assigned to us
Yeah. He
as
had
we were
not. He
leaving.
had not moved in.
Right.
Now
So,
you don't have to tell Hobbs you have a spare room. I'm just letting you know you have a spare room.
well, that's true. Well, I don't know if we're gonna see Medina again. So I go back to Rachel's room and I look around and like clear out any of her effects in there, and I'll give the room to Hobbs.
All right, Hobbs, you get a room.
Let's rent the room to Hobbs.
Yeah, are you
Nah.
gonna charge him rent?
Well, he's gonna have to pay. Well, yeah, we're all paying rent.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, so far as just by a weekly or daily rent.
Well, let's not gouge the guy.
No, I'm not saying that, but
All right.
we don't know when
We
anybody
don't
else will show
even
up.
know if he's gonna be able to pay.
Rent is it's a very fair thing to charge. You can
Yeah,
I'll sell
believe.
you one of my horses for X amount of rent.
Well, that seems fair.
I
Sure.
have to.
Yeah.
So one horse, 50 silver, I guess.
Yeah,
sound
that
good
would
to you?
cover about 6 days rent.
Make it a week and you got a deal.
Sure.
Yeah,
Alright.
that's fair.
Horse is yours. And I'll go in
Wonderful.
my room and shut the door.
Cool.
Yeah. He's not the man I thought he was.
No, he's definitely the man you thought he was. He's just a lot more fun than you think he is. And I smile and I say, we need to speak with Mr. Van Ooms.
Yes.
Mm.
Have I
Did-
seen? Oh yeah, I've seen Hobbs cast magic. I don't know if anyone else has. I've seen the after effects of him casting magic.
What
I had a-
I've heard of a Van Ooms in my travels.
Well, have you ever been to Amsterdam?
I'm gonna say probably not now.
Okay. Does Hobbs know anything about fine arts?
I would say a little, but not much.
Okay, in that case, roll a d20.
18.
18. No, you've never heard of Mr.
All right.
Ooms. Sounds
I'll
like a
open the
funny-
door.
Sounds like a funny name, probably.
I'll open the door, but I'll know that they have a rich patron though, right?
Mhm.
Yes, yeah. Well, I assume they probably mentioned that.
Yeah.
So
As soon as I hear them talk about someone in like high esteem, I'll open the door again. I say, I am looking for work, by the way.
Wonderful. Well, get yourself cleaned up. I'm going to do the same and change them out of these rags, and then we'll go and meet our esteemed patron.
I'll notify Klaus. Let him know to get
Good.
ready. I'm sure Mr. Nice to be
Mm.
glad to see him again.
Where are we gonna hide? Where are we gonna hide the wagon? Where are we gonna store the wagon at?
Hmm.
If anything, I can always try to find one of the guys in town, and maybe they can take it back to the camp with them, and we just keep the horses here. If
Do you want to
anything,
give up your wagon though? It's a good thing
I
to have.
mean, it all depends. Where can we keep it at? I don't
Hmm.
think we can keep it next to the house.
Stable. Stable would probably take a wagon
Yeah, I
in.
mean, you could garage it basically.
Yeah, we'll have to do that.
Probably the
Okay.
place that you're paying for the good stabling for the horse. Yeah, it's excellent care. They probably would
Mhm.
have garage attached as well. So you're already paying 90 silver pieces a month to stable your war horse there.
Right.
They would
We
take the
also got,
garage. Yeah, for another 30 silver a month, they would take
and we've
the
got
wagon.
7 more horses now.
We might have to get rid of
Ooh,
some of them horses. I don't think you need them.
Well, we're gonna need some to. We want to keep at least 4 of them then, right? The 4 best for
Yeah,
driving the carriage,
I
driving the
mean,
wagon.
two would be good, but
okay.
if you guys are gonna be carrying a lot of stuff, four would probably be perfect.
And we do need to keep Pegasus as well.
Do you?
Well, that wasn't part of the will.
Yeah.
Might maybe. Well, these are riding horses. They're probably not the best for carriage drawing a carriage, a wagon. Probably want work horses for that.
I mean, I would assume they would still they would work okay anyway.
Yeah, but it might be better to get a horse that's specialized for that because it's
Sure.
all riding and drawing a
So
wagon are
you want
different
to sell all
things.
the
So
horses except for Epona?
might not be a bad idea. And then Hobbs still has his horse. So we've got 6 horses. Hobbs has his,
You should have
right?
7. Hobbs has his. Antonio has Pegasus. Cole has one. And then there was the 4 on the wagon, 2 of which were Klaus's, and 2 of which were taken from. Well, one of which you
That
just bought,
family,
basically.
right?
One of them would be ours, and one of them would be Hobbs.
Yeah,
Right.
basically.
So
Hobbs took them.
So there's 7 altogether. So 6 minus Hobbs' personal horse. Okay. Because we gave him that horse to ride when we left the city, when we
Okay.
left Prague.
Right.
Okay.
That's
And then
right.
he has 2 horses then, if you consider him in his own riding horse. But I'm gonna take.
Yeah.
He's got his own horse now. I'm taking ours back, the one I bought for back. So the 2 horses that were drawing the wagon are probably already the type of horses that were suited for that.
Yeah, that would make sense. I'm going to
So
say
that
price-wise,
leaves.
they cost the same as riding horses. They're just made more for working than riding.
All right. So yeah, so we swapped them out. Unless we want to keep riding horses. I don't know. I mean, Klaus, you want to keep your wagon, right?
Well, I
Your
mean,
wagon.
I think it would be a good idea for us to use it if we're gonna go on whatever we're gonna go on. It might come in handy.
Mm-hmm.
So if anything, I can always have something built to attach extra riding horses just in case.
Well, typically you'd have someone. If we're going to be riding along, you have at least one person out on a horse as like a mobile defense in case of banditry.
So we don't get caught off guard. I gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I
So we
think
got
it's
Pegasus for that, and we also have Epona.
Yeah. It's like, I don't. I think maybe we ought to just stick with the 2 draft horses he has, right? And if we need any more, because we're not going to use it every time we do anything,
True.
we could always buy or rent some horses to use, for drafting. The 2 extra horses, let him keep his 2 horses
Mm-hmm.
if he wants to. And then we need at least 1 ride apiece,
Mm-hmm.
And which horse is yours, Pegasus?
It is now, I guess.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you have 2 horses?
No, mine was killed.
Oh, okay.
Remember, all of our horses were killed except for Pegasus.
Yeah, okay.
And Ian is muted.
I'm muted. Thanks for reminding. You have 2 horses because you have the war horse as well.
Oh, that's true, right? So I have 2 then.
Okay.
You have a war horse and a riding horse.
Mm-hmm.
Epona and Pegasus.
So I have no horses, so I'll need a horse.
Well, you have one that I bought in Prague, as does
Yeah,
Hobbs.
yeah, but I consider it yours until you give it to me.
Well,
So
no, I gave it to you. I don't need it.
okay,
Yeah.
all right. So I have a horse.
All right.
So Hob has a horse,
Hobbs is already in the wagon waiting.
and
Well,
and
when-
Plus doesn't have a riding horse apparently, so you'll need a
Right.
riding horse,
So there's 4. And suppose
right?
if he ever shows up.
So that's 5. That leaves the other 2. Right, we got 2 then that we could
Which,
sell.
is that right? Does that add up?
That'd be 7. Didn't we have 7 to begin with? Or was
7
that counting? Was that counting the draw horses? The draw horses? Or?
I think it was.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, then we don't.
Okay,
have-
so I guess we keep all
It
the
was
horses.
including the draft horse, but not including the war horse. So if
Okay.
you talk about the war horse, and you have 8.
Okay.
So
So I guess we got stabling for 7 more horses we need.
yeah, we can keep
And
that
the
1
wagon.
around. Yeah, we got that 1 we can keep around, so we'll have 8. Well, we are. Yeah, all of us together will have like 8 horses,
Excuse me. Sorry. Forgot to mute.
I guess.
Yeah.
That sounds good. I mean, that's worth it. Maybe we might get a good deal since we got so many horses and a wagon that's gonna be parked there. It might get us a
True.
little bit better rate.
You gonna stable these other horses at the same place with the excellent care?
Is it going to be the
Normally-
same price as for
Normally-
the fire
well,
as for
normally
the?
it would be 3 silver pieces a day per horse.
Oh,
We weren't stabling all the horses there before though, were we?
Just
I
the
didn't
war
stable
horse.
mine there.
Just
I
the war
stabled
horse.
mine elsewhere. You just put you and Rachel put yours there, but your main horse.
Well,
Yeah.
Rachel
Right.
put her horse there. That's the only horse there.
Right.
Oh, I thought you did, don't you?
No, I did not.
Nope.
'Cause I didn't want to spend too much money. I'm trying to save it.
Okay. Okay. So, well, maybe we ought to find a different place then.
Yeah, the place we were storing them before that was cheaper.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay, so just
nothing
standard
happened.
care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're talking about 7 horses,
8.
standard care.
Mm-hmm.
I thought we had 8 horses.
Now the war horse is still in the other stable.
Oh, yeah, but we could take it and save some money off of it.
Well,
Right.
did say he would take good care of her.
Yeah.
don't know.
I mean, we'll keep it there for now.
Okay. It's your
Okay.
horse. You do what you want to with it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to still cost for the 7 horses 210 silver pieces a month.
Okay.
I'll pay for this month plus my wagon.
The wagon is 30 silver pieces a month. So 30 silver pieces for the wagon and 30 silver pieces for each horse. So you're paying for 2 of the horses, Antonio? So it'd be 90 silver pieces for you.
For me?
No, sorry, Antonio. Jose. Klaus.
Yeah,
fucking names.
I'll pay for all the horses and the wagon for that place.
Oh, you're going to pay for all the horses. Okay, so that'd be 240 silver pieces then.
Okay.
Klaus picks up the bill for the horses in the garage.
Wow.
Wow, I know. That's just,
Good man.
yeah, good
Yeah.
man. We're lucky to have him back.
Fantastic. All right. Well, let us go and see
Then you're going to go to...
Mr. Van
Oops.
Ooms.
All right, well, let's take a bio break first.
Awesome.
I never cease to underestimate the amount of time that can be spent dealing with the the small bits of day to day, especially
yeah.
when you get back to Amsterdam. Like these guys, not a rich party yet, but they've definitely got a lot of property and well, not property, yeah, a lot of property to look after between the horses, the wagon, rent for the apartment or the house, whatever. It's a apartment, it's a house, but yeah.
To get them, I guess I had money.
Yeah, it's almost getting to the time that we need to get us a little ranch or something. Or not really like a ranch, but like someplace that we have our own stables and our own area,
Farmhouse.
Yeah,
and
this
we
was
can
just
park.
a fix because you guys were living in Amsterdam and working for you, so you guys decided to go for something in the city.
Yeah,
Actually, you
we,
set you guys up with this, gave you guys a good deal. So your
yeah,
house, the rent is 1,000 silver pieces a month for the house, but
yeah. Four divided into four. That's not too bad. 250 a piece.
I guess actually compared to the common everyday person, you guys are pretty rich. Just the fact that you own 7 horses. I mean, Jesus, 8 horses. Sorry, keep forgetting the warhorse.
Plus, we got quite a bit banked in the bank. Each of us. I mean, at least Antonio and me do. I don't know while classes and you know. Well, Antonio's got to go to the bank that Rachel had and show his credentials and get his inheritance because she had a bunch of money in the bank at one time.
Did she? I don't see that on the notes anymore. I don't think.
She did. I don't know how
Yeah,
much though.
yeah. She put not so she went and got some armor and stuff or some different kind of rifle or whatever, but beyond that, she put a lot of it into the bank after she bought some stuff.
I know
I
she didn't
thought
invest in business ventures as much as you guys did, but she spent a lot more money than you guys did too. So,
she
but she,
invested in something, but I didn't invest in anything. I didn't do that myself. I
oh no,
stayed
you're right. Yeah,
away.
she did. She did. I do have her
Yeah,
investments written down.
You
yeah,
know
she
what
did
makes
invest
me
in.
sad? That I invested on the wood guy and then my guy died.
Yeah. Yeah, that's gotta suck. Well, how much money do you guys have in the bank, Antonio and Cole?
I gotta go look it up. Hold on.
Sure. I might be able to guesstimate about how much money Rachel had in the bank then.
I have 9,751.
Whoa.
No, I'm sorry, that's wrong. Because I forgot I sold that and put the money back in the. I had a wagon listed as properties, but I sold that and put it back in the bank. I have 9,826. I invested 10,000 in that one shipping vent or the woodworking.
I mean, you guys do have a lot of money. You are pretty rich.
I have that witch's money too, or when we remember in that wagon I had. So I'm trying to look up the paper. I have it in the paper I got there. I'll find it.
Yeah, I wrote it in my property tab on my character sheet.
I can just imagine Ronnie sitting there with his fingers all steepled and an evil grin on his face as we're discussing all the money you guys have.
Yeah, I'm very quiet for a reason. I'm doing mental calculations in my head. I mean, are they just standing around talking like
No,
finances
of
while in
course
front
not.
of
Of
me?
course not.
They're pulling out old bills of sales and shit.
Okay, are you ready?
Yeah,
He
I'm ready.
has. He had three. Well, you said there's only one bank, so I had it listed as three different banks. So he had, let's see, 8,200 plus 15,000. He had $23,500.
Silver pieces, yeah.
23,200 is what he
23,200 silver,
so
yeah.
silver, yes, silver, and he had on himself three gold pieces, four silver, but that was a little while ago.
Now,
Plus, he had 625 silver pieces also that he carried around.
and did he invest anything?
No, no, he
Okay.
didn't want to
That's why
invest.
he has so much cash.
Yes. Well, no, he had a lot of it because of that. Remember, he got off with everybody's money that died by the plague.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, that helped a lot.
They didn't have a
Yeah.
load though. They weren't like loaded at that point yet. So
No, but there was enough to,
it
yeah,
was a bit to make a difference for sure.
yeah,
Okay, cool.
yeah.
I'm gonna go use the restroom, and then when I get back, we can resume if everybody else is back. That mid-game sack was good though.
Does anyone remember if I took more than just the saddlebags out of that tent? Did I take any of the weapons that I had or anything out of the tent? At the
No, you just grab the bags and lift all the weapons
That's what I
behind.
thought. So I don't
Mm,
want to be loaded down. Yeah,
right.
that's what I thought. Just making sure.
If I erased them off of my loot lists from all that stuff.
Yeah,
'Cause
that's
there was
right.
like
I remember.
an arquebus and a couple pistols and such that were also taken. And
Yeah, but you were just trying to get away quick, so your main focus was just to get the money because you could always buy more equipment
right,
later or whatever.
Yeah, I still had my short sword, two daggers, and the bow and the arrows because I didn't think they'd take those away from us. But
right. Well, they were up in your
All
room, and
right,
yeah,
yeah,
we are back. So
So before we go to Jupes, Klaus would talk to Antonio real quick
Yoop.
before we
His name
leave.
is Yoop.
Jupe, my bad. It's
Jupes.
weird, man. And he would tell Antonio, he would whisper to him, "Your new friend, does he know the things he can do?"
the odd Englishman.
Yes.
Yes, he does.
Okay. I just want to make sure because I haven't seen you in a while and I don't really want to say anything that will put you in
Mm,
danger, especially after what happened to me.
and I feel like a
yes, no one.
minority. The fighter's a minority, and everybody else is magic users of some sort.
Oh, it's true right now. Yeah.
And with that, like he would pat you in the back before we go, and he would be like, "Don't worry, I'm watching your back." And with that, I'm gonna cast bless on him.
Who are you casting Bless on?
Antonio.
Okay. Wait a minute. Okay, so what is the effect? Remind me.
And before that though, we're out in the open.
I assume he's doing this in the house.
Hmm.
In the wagon.
Either the house or the wagon before we head out.
Gotcha. I was gonna say, whoa, man,
Uh-huh.
he just broke out of jail for heresy. Don't do it in the middle of the street.
Sorry, 1 second. I'll tell you what it does. It says this spell bestows the favor of the cleric's deity upon the subject. The subject receives a number of points, 1d6 plus the caster's level, to allocate to any future die rolls. To hit saving throws, skill checks, surprise checks, whatever the subject desires, except damage rolls.
Right, anything but damage. Got it. And what's your level? 5, Antonio?
Uh,
Yeah, it's 5, yeah. So you get 6 points from the Bless spell, Antonio.
I rolled a 5, so it's 5 plus whatever.
Oh,
That
you
is.
rolled a 5. Sorry, so it's 10 points. I rolled.
What does that do now?
Yeah, it's fine. It's 10 points that you could add to any die roll, like a skill check.
Mm.
You could use it points to move a roll into your favor.
Anything except for damage, so you can use it to hit, but not for damage.
Right. Okay, so you have 10 points from a Bless spell. And shockingly, you do not go up in flames.
Oh, and it just lasts until they're used.
Is the last still used,
Yep.
or is it 24 hours?
There's no duration here.
Oh,
No,
nice.
until used.
Wow.
Yeah, Bless is pretty good.
Holy shit, that makes it even better than I thought it was. Okay.
No rolls relating to damage or magic use can be modified by a bless.
Right.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Nice.
But like a magic save, if you're protecting something,
Mm-hmm.
I would say you could.
Or
Just as far
I
as you actually use
really,
it.
really need to hit with this chair that I'm throwing across the river at that dude.
Yeah. All right, cool. So you're heading down to Yoops. By the time you get down there, you're not making any stops along the way. You're not going to the bank or anything. You do that after, or you want to do that before you go to Yoop?
Going to the bank.
After.
The best part of
After.
Dungeons and
Yeah,
Dragons.
after. Because I don't want to need to make 2 trips to the bank in case he's got some kind of bonus, or he's going to be paying us too, so hopefully.
Right. Okay.
Is he? He's also our landlord?
Um, he sets you up with the. I never said he owned the property. I don't think. Did I?
He set us up with the property owner.
Yeah.
Though. Yeah, because
Yeah.
we'll need to get in touch with them.
The owner is a friend of his.
All right.
Okay.
Of course, they were aware that we were going to be gone and would be paying when we got back.
So
And if
when
not,
you get
they
to
could.
Yoop's strangely shaped. Let's see here. Let's call this image 1. Okay. Oops, very strangely strange tower. Okay, let's take that and make it there. Let's drop under the overlay. Drag it over to here. Do it something like that. And then it can be visible. That's a little bit better. Whoa. Let's unlock that again, actually, real quick. And why is it? I guess that's just the way the image is. Okay. Weird. I don't know why. So anyway, yeah, when you arrive at Yoop's place, you come across a kind of a sad sight.
Mm.
You see Henry VIII as he is known, sitting on the stoop of Yoop's place. Sitting on Yoop's stoop. Whoa, somebody's got an alarm going off.
Well,
Just
let me
mute your mic.
mute myself.
Thank you. So sitting on Yoop's stoop, but it's also his stoop since he lives with Yoop, is Henry VIII, the short, effeminate personal assistant, professional, and social manager of Joop Van Ooms. Also personal secretary, whatever, basically. Lackey in general. And he's crying into his hands. Doesn't even see you arrive. He's just so wrought with grief.
Why are you crying for, Henry?
He jerks back and says, Antonio, it's you.
Yes,
And Cole.
indeed.
And Klaus.
Indeed. And this is Mr. Hobbs.
Yes, I heard you had broke the jail. It's good to see that you're still well. Um, Mr. Hobbs, I do not know you.
He is bound for England, as we are, eventually.
This
We
is
met in
very
Prague.
this is very fortuitous. Please, quick, come inside. We must not speak of this on the street.
Of course.
We'll open the door for you to go into. What is that in the ground floor? C is the sitting room. Takes you into the sitting room. He says, "Quick, um, close the door behind you and lock it."
All right, do so.
He says, Yes, this is very fortuitous indeed that you've come back today of all days. You see, you've just missed our master and patron by less than a couple of hours, even. Some angry merchants, unfortunately, of the very influential and rich type. Um, they were just here with members of the city police guard. I don't know what they'd call them. City guard, we'll call it. And they hauled him away in chains. Apparently, these merchants didn't take too kindly to Master Van Oom's relationship with their sons and daughters.
Hot
Submariner? What do you want?
burger and fries.
That's it? No drink?
Mm,
Get a drink. Get a drink.
I want
my bad.
to shake into large fry also.
Yes, me too. Yeah, that was funny. Anyway, yes, they were rather put out by Master Van Oom's relationship with their children. Uh, of course, Master Ooms protested and tried to explain to the guards that the relationships were all 100% consensual, um, and that their parents were aware that they'd been attending the parties when they were present, but the merchants weren't having any of it, and the guards, well, apparently took their side over Master Van Ooms for whatever reason. They must be being paid well, and he's been arrested, and well, he he faces the gallows. He says, and his hand drops down. Head drops down into his hand, and he starts to cry again, momentarily losing himself yet again in his grief.
A man such as you should be able to have the best lawyers they are around this area.
He's not going to get a chance for any of that. They're going to hang him tomorrow at noon.
Has he even had a trial?
A trial. He'll be tried by the court of public opinion.
Good
We
Lord.
cannot allow this to happen. cannot allow this to happen. Come, come. And he takes it and he goes walking back towards the stairs to go up to. Oops. Let's change this. Browse to the 3rd floor. So going up 1, 2, 3 levels. Up to the gallery, which is room J there. Kind of his museum, as it were. And he says, this right here, this painting, this incomplete painting is the problem. And he gestures to the painting, mostly finished. However, one corner is yet unfinished. Um, the painting shows Joop van Ooms swinging by the neck from a gallows while meteors rain down on Amsterdam, causing apocalyptic levels of destruction. He says, this is the problem. This is why you cannot allow him to die tomorrow. Don't you understand? It will be the end of us all. The end of the world.
And I look at him with a slightly skeptical eye and I say, does he have such a contingency on his continued health?
Of course you do not know. Master Van Ooms, he has a gift. Everything that he paints comes to be as soon as the painting is complete. If he dies tomorrow, then that painting will be as complete as it ever can be.
But it is not complete. Is he the only one who can complete it?
Of course, it's his gift. And if he dies tomorrow, then it is complete, because the painter himself will be dead. That will be it. This painting will be finished. It will never be able to be worked on again.
What if we burn it?
That won't work. He's already painted it. If you burn it, that just makes it even worse, perhaps. I don't know.
What if we bring it to him and let him complete it in a manner that assures his escape?
How will you do that? He's in the Rasp House.
Well, I'm sure we can. Darn.
No. You are right, though. You are the answer, Antonio. Well, you or your brave friends here. One of you. You're all very brave and foolhardy. Brave. Yes, very brave. You must break him from the Rasp House in the morning before he can be taken to the gallows. They are forced to labor in the courtyard. It's a large open area in the center of the building.
Tell me why he even painted this picture of himself being hung.
Well, he never saw fit to tell me, but if you're asking me, I would say it was a sort of insurance policy for him.
Seems rather specific, though. Death by hanging. What if he were to fall down the stairs and break his neck? Would that doom the world as well?
I would guess so, because again, the painting would be complete. He would be dead. Meteors will rain down and destroy the city. And, well, that level of destruction, I don't know. I can only assume the ramifications it may have on the rest of the continent.
What if he painted another painting beyond that one?
But it'll be very hard for him to do if he's hanging from the gallows tomorrow afternoon.
Well, I mean, if we were able to get him to draw one sooner than that.
If you think you can get Master Van Ooms to do anything, then I wish you all the luck in the world. But first, you must save him. Come with me. I have exactly what you need.
Oh.
And he takes you up the stairs again, the 4th floor, which you haven't been to the 4th floor before, but he'll take you from the 4th floor on up to the roof itself. Let's see here, the 4th floor. Whoa, that is way too big. Let's make that smaller. There, that's enough of the fourth floor for you to see. So as you go up the stairs, you'll pass through rooms M and O anyway. I don't think you've been up to the fourth floor before. So the fourth floor, M is oh yeah, this is his actual workshop. The fourth floor. So room M is where he does his sculpting, and room O is where he does his writing as well as most of his eating and sleeping. You can see there's a cot there and lots of books and inkwells and ink and and from the fourth floor, he then leads you to the roof. And the roof. Okay. Yes. On the roof, there is a heavy cloth over something. And Henry walks over to it and undoes one of the ropes tied to a stake, and another one, and another one. He pulls this heavy cloth back, and you see a helicopter, exactly like the helicopters that the bandits had been using in the forest to the southeast. You remember them? What was the guy's name with the bastards? I'm sure it's in the notes.
They're the dead
Yeah, that
bastards now.
the bandits.
Yes, yes, yes. Um, sure.
Yeah, Hobbs is just flabbergasted.
Florence Vorkink and Florence Bastards. Yes, it's the exact same design, same kind of make. He says, "With this, you can save Master Van Hooms." Do you see it? Do you see it, Antonio? He comes over and he puts his hands on your shoulders and shakes you gently, but desperation in his eyes, tears welling up.
These devices are rather fragile. I can't imagine we could fly into the exercise yard and hook him up and fly away with him.
Do you have a better idea? And why not?
Not at the moment.
I have an idea. If somebody knows how to fly this contraction, or another way to get them out, I can always get the boys back in the camp to come and do a diversion for us so we can get them out. And at the same time as he's saying this, it's like passing his hand like along the thing, looking at it like he's never seen like a flying contraction before.
All right. Oh, you weren't with them on that mission, were you?
I was with my guy who died. Not with
All
this
right,
guy.
right, yeah, fair enough, cool.
I'm gonna ask the guy, is the place he in have an open roof
Yes, yes, a huge
or a
courtyard,
window?
the Rasp House. It's like a
Hmm.
large block. The buildings go around the edge, but the inside is open. And that's where they do their work in the mornings and in the afternoons. But afternoon
And
will be too late. He used to hang at noon.
he's there now. He's there right now in the courtyard.
I don't know if he's there now, but he'll definitely be there in the morning. He's only just been arrested. He may be there this afternoon.
Isn't this the plot of Breakout with Charles Bronson?
Say again, what?
Isn't this the plot of Breakout with Charles Bronson?
I have no idea. I've never seen it.
Really? 1970s movie? Yeah, it's kind
These
of.
strange people you're speaking of.
So,
Oh, the
from what I
tail.
understand,
Speaking riddles, man.
to pilot this vehicle requires an equal amount of physical strength, endurance, and force of will. Sometimes sheer force, sometimes your endurance and ability to uh, hold out through a tough maneuver. And sometimes, again, like I said, just sheer force of will to make the device perform the way you wish it to. I've never flown it myself, but I've heard Master Van Ooms describe it to a potential client. It is best to go as lightly encumbered as possible. You don't want to bring any extra weight with you, especially if you're going to be flying back with Master Van Ooms. Unless you have another plan and want Mr. Van Ooms to fly it out himself and you have another way to escape. Or if you wish to sacrifice yourself and to replace Master Van Ooms in the reps house, they may not execute you. Of course, an alternative method would be preferable.
I'm certainly probably not going to be the one capable of flying it, if that's what we're going to do.
You'll need the use of both hands and feet.
I'm gonna take Antonio outside over to like the corner of the room. I
Mhm.
need to speak to this man in private. Then I'll walk him over.
Yeah, he's in the meantime, he's inspecting the helicopter. Make sure that there's no damage or anything, that it's still all right.
All right. I'll pull him as far away from the other guys as I can, and then I'll say, you know, Antonio, I also am a witch, as I'm sure you're aware of.
Hmm.
Let's just get that out of the way.
Indeed.
Um, I may have a spell that can save your patron.
Oh.
Yeah.
Which is what does it do?
It allows one to levitate.
Hmm. Can you control where you're going? I don't think I've heard of this one before.
Oh, let me read my spell book.
I believe levitate is just straight up or down.
Yeah, I think it's straight up and down. But if you tie like a rope with them,
Yeah, true. Have a levitating person holding onto a
like
rope being pulled by a helicopter.
like a human balloon or something.
Yeah, I don't see why that wouldn't work. What's the duration on that spell, though, too?
The levitation is as long as I concentrate on it.
Right, but if you're concentrating on it, you can't fly the helicopter.
No, but you said it's a courtyard, so maybe I could just have him like go to the wall and cast levitate on him and shimmy up it, make a run for it.
And just ditch the helicopter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can definitely get you up the wall and easily without having to worry about climbing or anything, but you'd be putting yourself at a great risk for someone you've never met.
I'm thinking more. Well, it's a courtyard, so I don't know. It's hard. This is a tough one.
Hmm.
I do, I do want to help your patron, but only for my own personal reasons.
Personal reasons are usually very good ones.
Yes. Can we inspect the courtyard? Can we like kind of walk over see what it looks like?
No, I mean, like, let's see if I can find an image for you what this place is like.
Like they wouldn't let us near it. It's like a prison or something.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't be able to get in. You know,
I don't want to get in. I just want to see what it looks
yeah, you wouldn't be able to from
like. Okay,
outside. You just see the
got it.
walls, and you might see the gate, but right. Okay, so let me take this. Oh yeah, I can only do this, I think, by save. Save image as. We want to go to the right folder. Yeah, save. Okay, I'll pop it up on the thing now to give you an idea as to what it looks like. Now, okay, this might be a more modern image than the 1600s, but it gives you the basic idea. Um, I don't imagine that the buildings changed that much um, by the time period that is depicted. Oh god damn, this picture is fucking huge. I'm getting there, guys. I'm getting there. Right. Did I give you an idea?
Yeah. Uh, huh. Yeah, we definitely need like some kind of distraction or something.
I wonder what year that is, actually. That's probably more like 18th or 19th century, but still. So I would say the buildings nearby are probably as built up. But
Yeah, that's tough. What do you guys think?
so you're talking to the group again?
Yeah.
So,
Hmm.
um,
I know that I could get some of the guys maybe to come in with a. Do they have Molotov cocktail things at this point, right?
but they're not called Molotov cocktails. They have fire bombs, yeah, but um,
I don't think
I don't know
we
if you
want
guys
that.
have any.
I don't think we
Well,
want that much of a distraction.
well, I mean, I can get them to come to town and start like doing shit to get the guards' attention long enough for us to get in there and get them out.
Boy, I don't want to put your family at risk, though. Again, for someone who they've never met.
Do they
Hmm.
allow visitors?
Probably not.
No, probably not.
What's with this judicial system? Due process.
It's the 17th century, mate.
Is there any will you be able to
It's
get
only
a
for the
hold of?
purposes of the story of an actual game session that they didn't just hang him right away. So
There was Klaus in the same prison whenever he was taken?
yes,
Okay. So you would probably know where the prisoners are going to be held. It's probably a common room. They probably don't have separate cells. So it's probably a common room. So you're trying to know whereabouts that may be, which would be advantageous if we wanted to try to get him at nighttime.
True.
that would require getting into the building and getting past lots and lots of guards as well, though. Not saying you can't do it.
Hmm.
Just saying it's going to be more complicated than flying the helicopter into the courtyard, probably, as far as the risk and the potential loss of life.
If only we had some way to conjure a bird or something.
Is there any way to get a hold of a map that would show how to get into the building? Maybe like floor plan.
In like less than 24 hours? Probably not.
Yeah, true.
Just a big flappy bird.
Klaus would know how to get in and out if he's been in there. He knows how they took him in, how he got out. So
Henry says, "Listen,
that could,
if you don't want to do it, I will try to do it myself. I don't know if I will succeed, but I cannot
Probably
leave.
will not succeed.
I cannot leave Master Venom's to his fate. I have made arrangements with Gilles, who is taking care of things in the city for me now, to arrange transport away from the city for Master Van Ooms tomorrow morning.
Hmm.
But first, we must get him from the prison and bring him back here."
And yes, we are fully understanding of this. So have faith. Panicking now is not going to help anyone. Although honestly, I wish I had a few days preparation.
I understand. I wish I could give it to you. This is not ideal for me either. I can take care of any financial affairs you need taken care of in the city. Anything I can do to ease the transition. You will, of course, uh, probably have to leave Amsterdam after this.
Hmm.
I'm trying to arrange passage on a ship to England. Master Van Ooms was always interested in the potential of a move to London.
Well then, so we have the option of using your flying contraption, and we have options for other possible avenues of escape as well.
Well, if you think you have a better option, then um, Master Van Ooms trusted your judgment, and I'm willing to do the same.
Hmm.
But I have inspected the helicopter, and it seems to be working fine. You know, this is based off of Leonardo da Vinci's design.
Ah, that's why it seemed familiar when I first saw it. Okay.
We don't have to use the helicopter to go there and to go back. We could actually bring it closer, use it to get him out, put him in a wagon, and hightail it.
That's an issue though, is getting close enough to use it. I mean, I can't imagine that you can just take it up into the air anywhere. Does it require some kind of space to launch, or?
No, I mean as long as you have room for it to sit, it's a vertical takeoff and landing.
Oh, really? That's
That's where the strength
fascinating.
comes in. You have to pump those pedals pretty heavy to spin the
Hmm.
blades fast enough.
Yeah, we
You go.
definitely, unfortunately, don't have that strength anymore.
It can only hold one person, right?
Your hands will handle the rudders, which will control your pitch and um, your direction.
Hmm.
Yeah, can you have more than one person on it?
It's not recommended. Weight is not your friend.
So we're supposed to get it in there and have him fly it out now.
Well, obviously, desperate times call for desperate measures. Master Van Ooms is not a particularly large man.
Do you know how to fly this thing?
Like I said, I'm willing to try.
Because maybe we can cause a distraction. You can fly it in and get him out while we get out ourselves through a different route, maybe. Cause a distraction for him, maybe getting lost through like streets and stuff. Like I said, if I have to, I'll get my people to help me, but just trying to figure out what we can do.
Mhm.
If possible, I would like to not involve them. Their hospitality, I don't think we well served with a possible, hey, come help us break someone out of prison. It's probably suicide. It would be a poor way to repay them.
I have another idea.
Oh,
Probably a really bad idea.
at this point, they're all bad.
um, if we can get my wagon full of powder, we can drive it up to one of the walls and blow up the wall.
I like this idea a lot.
Hmm.
Jesus
I
Christ,
actually,
you want to pull a Timothy LaVey on the Rasp House in the 17th century?
If I get reimbursed for my wagon plus, I'll be fine with it. I'm just trying to think of what we can do without getting ourselves killed or
that's
the guy
Now,
we're rescuing.
Antonio, this is probably the first one to think of this. That would probably cause a considerable loss of life
that's what I'm thinking. Yeah,
on both sides of the wall.
right. And that kind of bothers me.
Prisoners, guards,
Hmm.
people who live or work in the area, whatever.
Yeah,
Anybody who happens to be walking down the street.
yeah. Because is it surrounded by busy streets on all sides, or?
Yeah, Yeah, pretty much. It's
Mm,
city,
darn.
so you know.
I was gonna
It's
say.
in the city.
Uh,
It's not out in the. No.
okay, so if it was out like in like the countryside, or it was like
Nope.
up against the wall of the
Nope.
city, someplace where not many people were, then I'd be 100% behind that plan because that sounds awesome. Go full Michael Bay on that shit.
I got a shitty idea. They have a sewer. Like a tunnel sewer.
How are we going to dig a tunnel?
No. A sewer tunnel. So
There
they have
are
like.
there are sewers in Amsterdam. Yep.
But are we going to be able to navigate down there and find our way to it?
I think Hobbs did a good job at it. I it's just an idea. I don't know. I mean, do they have like the manhole cover type things in every block, or is it different than that?
Probably not.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I mean,
Probably just runs out to a river or something.
actually, I'm not even sure if they do have sewers in Amsterdam. Let me double check here.
It is. I probably honestly, it's probably not. Only because it's Denmark, right? Aren't they underwater?
Yeah, no, I was thinking
Aren't there levees?
All of the
Like New
dams, the
Orleans?
canals. No, they didn't introduce sewers. I'm sorry, there were no sewers introduced until the 20th century.
Oh, okay. I thought it might be like New Orleans where there's no sewers at all. Or do New Orleans have sewers?
They probably have something eventually, pipes and gutters or something. But yeah,
Right.
and this
Because of the
time,
low
no,
water
people would have
table or
dumped
high
their
water
rubbish
table.
straight into the canals,
Hmm.
and sewage flowed in via pipes and gutters.
Okay.
We're against killing the guards.
If we can help it. I'd rather not. I mean, they're just doing their job too. Even if, well, some of them may be just doing their job. Some of them may be rotten bastards who deserve a good killing. But
Well, you sing a song that puts most people to sleep out of boredom, I guess, or whatever. How many do you think would go to sleep if you sang them a song?
oh gosh, there's no way I could do that for the entire prison. Not nearly enough, and not nearly enough of them, and it's not guaranteed either. I mean, a bandit camp is a far cry from a prison in the middle of Amsterdam.
True.
But okay, Mr. Hobbs,
Yes.
that idea you spoke about earlier, is it only work on people?
Let me consult my book once more. I think it's objects too.
Because I have a similar thing for objects.
Yep. Allows the caster to move himself, another creature, or an object up and down as desired.
Excuse me. Okay, so I have an idea here. It's probably a bad one, but it would combine like everybody would need help to probably do it. Let's see here. How long does that last for? It would make it flying it easier. It would make it easy to get in there.
The
And
only problem is I have to concentrate on the object. So
exactly.
I can't move.
Not a problem. Where's it at here? No. Okay, that's good. Hold on.
And now that I think about it, if he casts levitate on the helicopter, and the helicopter already has its own way to determine direction, but
Right.
the levitate would just make it like nearly weightless.
Okay, so
So-
here's my thing here that I was thinking of, but it doesn't say anything about it. It just says this causes the subject, but then it says including all carried equipment to completely vanish from sight of visibility. But it just says the subject. Would it work on an object? I don't know.
Talking about
What page is that
invisibility,
on?
right?
Invisibility is it's on 116 in the Grindhouse.
Oh, I don't have. I do have the Great House, but I have my other rules of magic here.
I have the
handy.
hardback. Let me check the hardback.
Let's see.
Well, if it makes all your clothes
It clothes
on
and
you,
objects
objects,
carried,
Carried by
but
the subject, right?
right.
So the subject has to be an individual.
I would say a subject. I mean, if he wanted it to be a living creature, he would have said so. The subject makes it sound like very like
Frightens
The
the light
thing
of the
that's
world, causing you to avoid the subject of the spell. The subject, including all carried equipment, completely vanished from sight. Equipment is dropped because yeah, it's a person.
because then it says in invisibility 10-foot radius, the caster's range is so great that the light is terrified on a grand scale in any beings and their carried equipment. Okay, let's see what else I have here.
Yep, I would rule that as the subject has to be a being.
now could the person that's invisible that has a cape or something around him wrap it around another person and they'd be invisible also?
Say again.
I don't know about that.
I just checked to see if Reggie was online. I was going to ask him.
What I was asking Ian was if a person had a cloak and they were invisible and the cloak was invisible, could they wrap it around somebody else close to them, tightly against their body? Would that person be invisible if they're covered with a cloak?
I guess it would have to be. So the person's invisible. They have a cloak. The cloak is visible because they're wearing it. They wrap it around a person. Wow, that's really gaming the rules. But
I don't think so.
yeah, I don't
I
think
would
I don't
think.
think
I
so either.
think
I think the cloak would be invisible, but the person would not.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to think of, but
Yeah.
I'm shooting things
Right.
off, just trying to
Yeah,
figure
that's
because
alright.
it is just one target for invisibility. There's other ones that do multiple targets, like that 10-foot radius one, and then there's like an even bigger, more powerful one after that.
But couldn't, if you two got up on the roof even, couldn't you make him invisible and then Hobbs could lift him up? You could lift him up by his power that he has and get him to where you guys are, and maybe nobody will see you.
The only
think I
problem is,
can't.
okay, so I can cast 2 invisibles per day.
Invisibility. Yep.
Right. And I can cast 3 spider climbs per day. If we had some way of getting a message to Yoop to say, go to the wall, I could go invisible and climb up there. Cast invisible on him and spider climb. And then he could just climb up the wall and then get out. But see, that doesn't give me enough abilities though, because I could do another. So I would have to either get levitated up there or spider climb up there. I'd have to be invisible. Once I cast invisibility on him, I would become visible.
Not to mention, does invisibility have to be concentrated and maintained?
No.
Okay, cool.
It just lasts for a turn per level.
Okay, cool.
So it lasts for an hour.
I can levitate you up there,
Right.
and then levitate you down.
Yeah.
So that wouldn't waste the spider climbs.
Right. Getting back down again, I don't think is going to be a problem. The big problem is,
If you do that,
once I get up there and I cast invisibility on him, I'm going to be visible.
hey, I could cast Sanctuary on you, so that way it's hard for them to attack you.
Those walls look pretty high though.
Yeah. And how are we going to get a message to him? Is there... All right, here's a really silly idea. Is there a gate into that courtyard that leads outside? Guarded or not?
There is a gate. Yes, it would be heavily guarded.
Okay. Well, then there is an idea that we could possibly try, and that would be to some way to discard or to what's the word? Distract the guards from the gate, and then I can just open it. You can just run out the door
From inside?
from inside. If there's a way that courtyard is attached to by a gate to the outside, I can just cast knock on the gate and open it.
Sure.
Everybody's going to be running to the gate.
Yeah.
All the prisoners.
Sure, but that's not our
Yeah,
problem.
no. Just saying, we're going to have to try to.
I don't want to steal the whole thunder for this though, because I'm going to be the hot lights bog, hot light hog. I don't want to be that. So
No.
I don't know.
The hot
That
lights
sounds.
bug? Nobody likes
That
the hot lights
sounds.
bug.
That sounds like a reasonable plan to me.
Whatever works. It doesn't matter about who does it and how they do it.
I just really don't want to use that damn helicopter thing. I mean, it would be an awesome rescue, but I mean, I can't pilot it. Cole, can you pilot it? Do you have the strength and the stamina and all that to do it?
Let me see what my strength is again. I pull out my sheet.
Yeah, if he can, I can always cast bless on him to help him out.
You don't have. Do you have the constitution to do it though?
No, he's bad on constitution.
Yeah, bless would definitely help. Which Antonio has on him at the moment, 10 points.
Right.
Bless, but
doesn't work for magic.
Doesn't work for magic. It would work for piloting the helicopter.
That's true.
The helicopter requires random rolls, randomly determined rolls of either strength, constitution, or charisma. Now what you do is you roll 2d6. You add the modifier for whichever randomly determined stat it is, and then you need a 7 or better.
So it's going to randomize between those?
Yep, because sometimes it requires your physical strength. Sometimes it will require your endurance, and sometimes it will require sheer force of will, which is where charisma comes in.
Yeah, he's got good strength, but his constitution is crap. It's a 6. His dexterity is a 9. His intelligence is a 10. So he's not so great on the...
It's only strength, con, and charisma that you need to worry about, apparently. And he said you roll 3d6 and add the modifier, and you got to get 7 or better?
Yep, 7 or better. You roll 2d6. You modify it by whichever randomly determined
stat. 2d6.
2d6, not 3d6. 3d6 gets 7 or better. That'd be too easy.
Right? So you got to get a 2 or a 12. So you got range of 2 to 12, which means you're rolling an average of 6, right?
I don't know. I like the knock plan. I think simple plans tend to work more.
Average roll on 2d6 is 7.
Hold on. Let me check the range of knock. I think it's touch. Sure. Knock is 60-foot range. I don't even need to be at the door.
Yep, that sounds...
That's a 60-foot range.
Sounds like a kicker right
the gate.
there.
But then how do you get out the gate?
Well, let me see here.
Does casting another spell turn you visible?
Yes. 100%.
Okay, what is the gate? What kind of gate is it?
Oh, shit. I believe it's an iron, like portcullis type gate.
Oh, that won't work. That doesn't work on portcullis.
Let me double check. I'll look it up.
Come on, double wooden doors.
That would be ideal. Yeah, it'll open any any lock like that, but it won't lift the portcullis. It works on wizard locks, but only for an hour or a turn.
It's currently like an iron wrought gate, but what would it have been back then? Let's see, all. Yes, yes, yes. Founding, exploitation.
They probably would have some kind of, even if there's a wooden door in front of the portcullis, because otherwise people be coming up and handing things to the prisoners, and
Yeah, it actually doesn't look like it's a portcullis. It looks like it's just an iron gate, like a swinging gate.
Okay. Does it have like
a heavy
what do they
iron
call
gate.
those things? So you got the big gate, but does it also have like a like a sally port? I think they call it, like a smaller door inside of the big doors. Or it wouldn't matter. I mean, you just open the big doors. That would be easier. It'd be harder to. But we'd have to be able to. Is there any way to open the gate once I knock it from wherever I'm at?
You'd have to do it physically.
Oh, let me check what this spell does. I've never used it.
Why don't you knock the door open and then spider climb up the wall?
10 feet per level.
I'm sure no one will do anything about that.
Yeah, they probably shut their pants and run.
I have gust of wind also, which has also got 60-foot range. It's strong enough to hurl a small flying creature backwards, hold medium creatures back, powerful enough to blow out any unprotected flames.
I don't think
know
it's
if it'll be
powerful enough
enough
to
to
blow
open.
open a wrought iron gate.
Probably not.
It's considerably heavier than a small flying animal.
That's true. Well, I only have so knock is like my trump for this to open the gate. What else can we do to?
What does knock do exactly?
It
Just,
opens any locked door.
So it just opens the lock, not the door, correct?
It unlocks the door. That's it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So if you two came invisible, or two people were invisible, you knock, you cast invisibility upon them. Would them pushing the door open, would that make them visible?
Pushing the door open would not make
I could command somebody to open the door, one of the guards.
Pushing the door open would not make you visible, but casting the spell would make you visible.
Right, but if he casts a spell and two other people, say Troll and Klaus or Troll and Hobbs or whoever is up there, I mean, he turns them invisible. They run as soon as he does that, run and pushes the gate open. Those prisoners are going to be going straight for that area. The majority of them. The guards will be trying to either hold them back or running because they're scared. I'm guessing. I'm just giving, an idea out there.
That's not a bad idea. If all the prisoners are out there, they're gonna run for it, or it's just a riot.
Meanwhile,
that
we
would
could
probably
have
keep the guards busy for a while too, so you'd have time to get you back to his house without like immediate pursuit.
Yeah.
That'd be a hell of a
our
distraction.
problem.
A massive prison riot / escape.
Our problem would be we need somebody going over the wall and grabbing you while all this is happening and clear him out of there. Because if he tries to go through the door, he might not go. He might not run with the rest of them, or we got to find him within that crowd that's running out. So it'd be easier if we had somebody that was spotting him and could get to him. I don't know how that's going to work.
Well, that's if he even chose to leave. He's a weird,
True.
eclectic old man, or not old man, but he's a weird, eclectic dude. So he might.
True.
Who knows? He might be consigned to his fate. He did paint it after all.
So they could stay. Basically, they could stay. The two people, they could stay invisible, make their way in there to find him, and once they get to him, they would probably be they would be visible again. but they would have a chance to run back through with all the other prisoners that are the hanger-ons that are going in last,
As
going out
long
last.
as long as you don't do anything violent, you can talk and walk around and pick things up. As long as you don't like try to set something on fire, do any kind of violence, you'll stay invisible for the full hour. Which so you could walk up and talk to them, and then
Yeah.
bring them over to a wall away from the. Okay. Oh, well, here's another proposition. Okay, so we do the knock thing. You guys are invisible, and you open the doors.
Mm-hmm.
You will, you get in there. I mean, if people bump against you, that's fine as long as you're not like. Oh, hold on here. I had the wrong button. As long as you're not physically attacking anybody, you may get bumped into, but in that kind of situation, no one's going to probably notice. If you can get over to you, let him know to get over to a section of wall that Hobbs could float up to that part of the wall and levitate him up there. I could run around and be waiting below and feather fall them so they can just jump off the wall and get down that way.
Yeah, have the wagon, drive the wagon over there, and they could just jump on top of the wagon or whatever, and get them out of there. Depending on how high it is.
Yeah, that's 60 feet. I can't imagine the walls are more than 50, like maybe 20 or 30 feet at most.
Then we could just walk on out because we'd be invisible still.
Exactly.
Yeah, that sounds like a good plan. Not because I said something about it, but I mean, actually, your input on it really helped too.
And
Everybody's input has helped.
I want everybody to be
Make
able
this.
to get a chance in there too. I mean,
Well, I'd rather not have a chance in there at all myself, but
no, I mean a
I'll
chance
do it.
to work on something. I don't want to leave anyone out.
Who becomes invisible?
Well, I'm guessing Klaus and Cole.
Because I would have to be on the roof to cast levitate.
Right.
Yeah.
But you can get up there after the riot starts, float up there. Will they go in and find you? Because everybody's attention is going to be on the attack at the moment. You float up there, and when they bring him over, you see the guy. Well, you've seen him in the painting, so you know what he looks like. Get him over there, and you can float him up to the wall. Float him up the wall, and just mute there, Ian.
There's probably other paintings of him around as well. So
right.
Yeah.
Get him on top of the wall. I'll run around by that time, and when you come to my side of the edge, I can cast Featherfall on you guys, and you just jump right off. I'm sure you'd love to say, "Okay, come on!" And you grab by the arm and leap off the wall, and then watch his terrified expression as he doesn't suddenly smash to death under the cobbles below.
Stick him in the wagon so nobody will see him and
Yep.
take off with him. And then we'll walk out and go to wherever our horses are and head off to his place once we come into it.
Yeah, you can just walk in. Yeah, you can just walk into an alley and punch the wall.
Because Klaus he has magic, so he has some power that could help if we came into a bind in there. So
that's true.
Yeah, I got like bless and sanctuary, heroism, things like that.
All right. Well, I need 2 hours to prepare.
I need a couple. I need 2 hours.
I got a quick question. Now that we got up,
we got all night.
Can I use augury to kind of get a feel?
Let's see.
Lots of black magic going on around here.
Yeah, there is.
Bunch of heretics on.
Well, fortunately, Henry VIII isn't an arc.
Better not be, because bitches. What is it? Snitches
get stitches. Yeah. bitches get stitches. God damn. Didn't know you were that kind of guy, Jose. So it allows you to see a vision of all timelines, possibilities, probabilities for about a moment, allowing you the chance to determine whether a particular action will bring weal or woe. Okay. You can only see 30 minutes into the future. So you can't do it now.
Well, we could prepare it and then cast it before. Prepare it and then cast it before we go over there, outside the courtyard.
You can only see up to 30 minutes in the future with augury.
Gotcha.
Okay. So you think you got your plan?
Yeah.
Did everybody write it down?
I got it
I am
written
doing
in
it right now.
stone.
Okay, good. Because I think we're gonna have to probably do this in the next session. So
What
Henry
is that?
VIII will. Well, he's already got Gilles de Rice out looking into a ship, into passage for you guys to England. He does say you will have to stop here first. Master Veterans will want to come home first, sure.
We are also going to need to empty our bank accounts.
So I was thinking, yeah, we need to definitely do that. And yet, whatever else, we'd sell our horses off right then and there,
Okay,
whatever.
so I'll put down Henry VIII is to take care of your affairs in that. Liquidate bank accounts, yeah?
Yep.
Any assets you want to get rid of?
We got our investments. We got to contact our accountant, let him know where you can send word to. So we need to know some contact in England.
Henry VIII, if you basically like whatever the essential thing, giving him power of attorney, whatever, he can take care of that for you.
Okay, so he's going to be staying behind.
He's
until
staying behind, yeah.
Okay, then yeah. I'm not gonna be able to take the horse with me, and I did promise to take care of it. Did I? Not to sell it off. Ugh. So we're going to find somebody to get passes for that horse to England. Because the rest of the horses, we're not taking those with us.
Okay. So
But that,
7 horses want to be liquidated, right?
mm-hmm.
The wagon.
Well,
Probably
5 of
the
them
wagon.
for now. We're gonna need that wagon.
Oh, you're gonna need
Or
horses too.
you know what? We don't really need that wagon in particular.
Yeah, we can get another one later.
We can get like a small, like sell that one off. Just buy some cheap wagon that we can throw like sacks and stuff in the back of.
Okay.
So that you can, when they hop into the back of it, when Hobbs and you hop into the back of it, they can just cover up in those
I'm
rags.
assuming you want your bank account in gold for less coins. So you're liquidating 7 horses, a wagon. Anything else?
You need to go back to the house and.
Yeah, we got to clear out stuff out of there.
Yeah.
I only need one thing out of there.
Right.
Because I won't be able to do anything without it.
Okay.
Right.
Anything that you want to take with you? You can either take it with you on the heist, whatever you call it, the jailbreak, or you can leave with Henry VIII to pack up for your passage.
I'm going to need. I don't want him to pack it up, but he will need to.
Well, to keep it, at the house for you.
At the house.
Okay. Good. Anything else you want to liquidate?
I was going to inquire about his payment and all this. What does that
You
look
can
like?
enter the employment of Master Joop Van Ooms. You get paid 600 silver pieces per month.
I agree at Hobbs.
And your contract will expire on November 6th. So basically, you'll be under contract for just over 2 months.
Plus, I'm sure he might be quite grateful for not being hung by the neck until dead, hanged by the neck until dead.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good.
Maybe some bonus involved in that. Plus, we have not yet let him know that we were successful in our other task.
Very well. I look forward to a hefty advance.
Excellent. All right, I have the plan written down. I'll pop it on the game page there.
You're looking for an advance. Henry VIII will give you 300 silver pieces. Well, no, he'll give you 6 gold pieces, which is the value of 300 silver pieces.
Oh,
that's
nice.
half a month's pay right there. That will take you up until the first contract month starting September 7th.
Oh, I'm good with this. I will happily assist anyone.
Plus, we
He
get
like he
free
like
ride
literally
to.
just pulls 6 gold pieces out of his pouch. Sorry.
So,
There'll be much carousing to do in England.
Indeed.
so we have a free passage to India and in England also, correct?
He will take care of that. Yeah, you don't have to worry about that expense. He said he will arrange all of that. You just have to bring Messer Van who's back here in the morning as soon as you get him free, and then transportation arrangements will be made from there. Will already be in place.
Okay.
Wait. There's one more thing I want. It is as payment for my assistance. I'll look over at Antonio.
He's not eating it anymore.
I'll pull him aside into the corner.
Yes.
I would like access to your black book of magic.
Well, I would like a reciprocation of that.
Sounds like a deal then. I'll hold up my hand.
All right, I'll shake his hand.
All right. Then done. Once we get to England, we will study.
Indeed. I suggest that you prepare many materials for that because, well, my book is rather impressive.
Oh
And I
yeah,
wink at him.
that's so funny. Magic users comparing cock
we-
size or magic, spell
Are we,
book size.
are we shipping Hobbs and Antonio here or what?
No, you're not his type.
Okay. Anything else here? So Henry is going to, yeah, I've got what he's going to take care of there. I guess we got a few more minutes here before we wrap it up. We could take care of the financial side of things now, or do you want to just do that next session? Probably want to do that next session. Yeah, it would make more sense. Keep it chronological. Yeah. The arrangements are made anyway. We know who's doing what. So
Let's encourage everybody to be here next week because we went through such trouble to make this plan work.
yeah, big
So,
time. So
yeah.
the next session will be on the 27th of December, I think. Is everybody available to play the Friday after Christmas?
Yeah, I'm down.
I'm here.
Merrick?
You said 27th, right?
It
Yeah.
helps to unmute myself when I'm saying, yeah, I can do it.
Cool.
What do you
Good,
mean?
good, good.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Be same time as usual.
Cool.
Yeah, it's the 27th, that Friday, Jose.
Yeah, I'm good. I can do that.
Good. And Josh said this is the last Friday he's working, which makes sense since Christmas is on Wednesday. So, so Josh should be here as well. I don't know how the hell we're going to work Medina into all this now. We'll figure it out.
I'm glad that we didn't get it all done tonight and are already on the ship because it would be
even
much
harder.
Easier. Yeah, it would be even harder.
He just happens to be on the same ship. Hey guys, what are the chances? Fuck.
How did you get here?
God damn it, Hobbs. All right, so let's see.
Antonio.
What did you guys accomplish today? So you really.
I look forward to that mushy reunion.
Oh, you don't even know what's gonna happen.
You did make a pretty cool plan for a jailbreak. So I'm going to give you guys 500 XP each.
Nice.
It's not a lot, but it's it's 500 XP for basically just talking.
That was some damn fine talking that we did.
Mm-hmm.
Only 31,800 to go.
Yeah, well, in order to get massive amounts of experience, you got to go find massive amounts of treasure.
Yeah.
But
Shit.
you'll get more opportunities to do so. I have many more adventure modules to run. I think a lot of them definitely will work better in England, obviously. So, cool. I think Yeah, 500 XP each. That's all. Take care of. Great. I'm going to end the recording then, and we do this again next week, same time.
Sounds good.